3, 2, 1, start. As the security of the Prime Minister is the concern of the state, all arrangements for putting up the rostrum, the barricades, etc., at the meeting place, including that of an election meeting, will have to be made by the state government concerned in the case of election meetings. All expenditure on police setting up of barricades and taking lighting arrangements will be borne by the state government, while expenditure on the public address system and any decorative arrangements will be the responsibility of the political party concerned. The expenditure on all these items may, in the first instance, be borne by the state government and then recovered from the political parties concerned. In this regard, only 25% of the cost of the rostrum, or rupees 2500, whichever is less, shall be contributed by the party, as the rostrum has to be of certain specifications because of security considerations. Assuming that the finding of fact recorded by the High Court in this respect is correct, the appellant can still be not guilty of the commission of corrupt practice under section 123 of the RP Act in view of the new proviso which has been inserted at the end of clause 7 of section 123 and which reads as under: provided that where any person in the service of the government and belonging to any of the classes aforesaid in the discharge or purported discharge of his official duty makes any arrangements or provides any facilities or does any other act in relation to any candidate or his agent acting with the consent of the candidate or his election agent, whether by reason of the office held by the candidate or for any other reason, such arrangements, facilities shall not be deemed to be assistance for the furtherance of the prospects of that candidate's election. The above proviso has also a direct bearing on the allegation of the respondent that the appellant committed corrupt practice under section 123 of the RP Act. It has been argued by Mr. Shanti Bhushan that the words in the discharge or purported discharge of his official duty in the above mentioned proviso have reference only to statutory duty and not to other duty performance of which takes place in pursuance of administrative instructions. Official duty would include not merely duties imposed by statutes but also those which have to be carried out in pursuance of administrative instructions. Mr. Shanti Bhushan, during the course of arguments, made it clear that apart from his submission with regard to the validity of Act 40 of 1975, his objection relating to the applicability of Act 40 was confined to two matters, namely the connotation of the word candidate and the meaning to be attached to official duty. Both these objections have been found by me to be not tenable. We may also, before dealing with the validity of Act 40, refer to one other change brought about by that Act which has a bearing upon the present case. It was the case of the respondent that the appellant and her election agent made extensive appeals to the religious symbol of cow and calf and thereby committed corrupt practice under section 123 of the RP Act. The appeal by a candidate or his agent or by any other person with the consent of a candidate or his election agent to vote or refrain from voting for any person on the ground of his religion, race, caste, community, religious symbols, or appeal to national symbols such as the national flag or the national emblem for the furtherance of the prospects of the election of that candidate or for prejudicially affecting the election of any candidate. It is the common case of the parties that the symbol of cow and calf was allotted to the Congress party by the Election Commission. The learned counsel gave up that part of the case of the respondent wherein it had been alleged that appeals were made to the religious symbol of cow and calf by the appellant.